Alright guys, so welcome to my channel, and today we have a very nice question on Python that we have to solve, which is currently being displayed on your screen. And you can see that you can break down this problem, and just take a screenshot first and try to code this on your own. And then if you don't know, then you can follow me and see how I do this and solve this. This is a very basic question that involves very similar things like list comprehension and nested lists. If you don't know these meanings, I will teach you, and this is a very basic question in Python. So let's just start solving this. So the question, it is given that there are n number of students in the class, and we have to print out the students that have the second lowest grade. So first, to store this data, we need a list. So we'll create an empty list named students. Let it be named students. You can name it anything. I just named it students. And then what we need to do is we need the data for n number of students. So we have to add n number of students data into this list. How would we go about doing that? So what we can do is we can run a for loop. So for underscore range, which is int, the integer, and inside that we write input. So what this does is run a for loop in which the range is in integer value, and the input means that we can input the value of the input the value we want in basically the for loop. How many times we run that loop, how many students name we require and scores we require. Okay, so next step would be to take the name input, which is I'll let it be name and input. So the basic type of data that is stored is string, so we don't write anything. We can write str input, but it will give the same result as that. Alright, so the third step will be to take this score input, fourth step. So score will be equal to float and input. Alright, so here why we take this as float is because the value can be decimal, so we take it float. Example 75.2, 40.3, something like that. So the values can be decimal, so for that the data type is float. So next we will write this, and I'll explain this to you as I write it completely. Let me write this first. Alright, so what this does is we have a list that is students, and the append function, what this does is add these two variables, which is name and score, into the list and into particular sections of the list. So when we take s of 0, we mean name, and when we take s of 1, we mean score. I'll show you what I mean. So we have basically created a kind of a nested list now, and this is how we store data in the list. The next step would be to extract and sort this the scores of this list. So what we will do is write scores, which is equal to sorted and set, and we then take another bracket 1, s of 1, set s of 1 for s in students. Alright, so what this does is, first of all, there is list comprehension. What this means is the s of 1 is where the scores of the students are stored, like I said. And the second step would be to remove the duplicates. That is, for example, let's say two people have the same score, 40.2, but we need only one. We need to take only one value, so we use the set function, so it gives us only one value. It removes the duplicates. And the third step would be to sort the values, so we use sorted for that, and it sorts the entire set from ascending to descending values. Basically, if there is like three values, let's say 30, 40, 50, so it would be sorted in that order from lowest to highest, ascending to descending. Descending to ascending, D to A. And then what we do is get the second lowest score. So how do we do that? We take a variable named second underscore lowest, and we take the scores as 1. Alright, what this does basically is, we have these scores, we have this set of scores. Okay, let's say we have 30, 40, 50, and what we do is that we take the second lowest. So the second lowest would be 40. So basically it is stored in the first index when it is sorted, right? If you can understand from this example, and I'll also take the outputs so you'll understand more clearly. And the next step would be to write names, and names equal to s of 0, which is where the the values of names are stored, for s in students if s of 1 is equal to second lowest. So let me explain this to you. So what this does is filters the name of the people who have scored the second lowest. Let's say there is only one person, so it will filter only one. Let's say there are more than one, 2, 3, it will filter for all the students. S of 0 means that it will take those names from the students list who have scored the second lowest. It will check one by one the scores of each student. Alright, so next thing would be to names dot sort. What this will do is sort them in alphabetical order. And finally, for name in names, we take a for loop and then print the name. Alright, let's run this command, and then I'll hope you will understand it, how this works. There seems to be an error which is occurring, so let me fix it just quick. Okay, what we fixed here is the fact that we added a line that said enter the number. So whenever we take the input, whenever we write, for example, 3, so it will take name input 3 times and score input 3 times, something like that. I'll add something for this as well. Let's just say enter name of student, and then let's say I write here enter the score of student. Alright, let's run this now, and we have enter the number of students. Let's say I write for example 4. Enter the name of student. Let's say I take my name, Hrishi. Enter the score of student. Let's say I have a score of 87.5. Again, this loop will keep running until we have 4 students details. Let's say I write Rahul and type 89 point. Let's take a different number. Let's say 56.434. Another name, let's say Kishore, and let's say I write 70.4, and let's say I write another name, let's say Shubham, and let's take the score as let's write something similar. Let's say I write 56.4. Alright, now let's see what will happen. What do you think will happen? This program should print the names Rahul and Shubham, because this program should print the name of the second lowest score, and that would be Kishore. It should print the name Kishore, right? Let's run this. See, second lowest score is of Kishore because he has 70.4. When we write this list, we can observe from these values that Kishore has the second lowest value. Let's do this again. Pi, and let's take 3 students this time. Let's say I write Gajesh, and I take the value 40.4, and let's say I write Shivam, and let's say I write 40.4, and I write another name, let's say Ashish, and I write 34.1. So what do you think this will do? I think it will print the name Gajesh and Shivam, right? Let's check. Yes, because they have the second lowest score. The lowest is 34.1, and then it is 40.4 and 40.4. Because 2 people have the same score, so it will print the names from this list. Alright, I hope you understand this question and how we applied nested lists and loops, and how we use the functions of the list like append and all that. And I hope you understand data types from this and indexing. There is a lot of things involved in this, and I hope you can do this on your own and change the values and play with it a bit, add your own things. For example, in print function you can write 2 people, n number of people have this numbers or something like that. Just play with it. Coding is all about practice and playing. As much as you play with it yourself, understand it yourself, you can figure it out, how to do it yourself. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.